We're back, we're here, we're talking about the National League, looking at stats and what clubs have done the business so far. So let's get to it, let's talk the National League. Yes, we're here and we're here to talk about the National League. Smash that like button if you are a fan of the National League and if your club is in the National League. And also while you're down there hitting that like button, smash that thick boy and get the subscribers going as well. Hit that subscribe button so we can get that 200 mark and we can get on our way. But in today's video, we are focusing on the National League and we're going to be having a little rundown through the leagues and having a look at who's taking, the stories for the good and for the bad as well. Before we get into that, let's get into this all-important stats for the National League so far. So first we'll look at the top scorers in the division. Torquay United are the top of this list. As you'll probably find, they'll be top of something else in a minute. They've scored 27 goals this season, Torquay. Sutton with 23, Bromley with 22 goals, and Wealdstone fitting into the National League nicely with 20 goals already. So take a look at the players who are in charge of scoring them goals at the moment, and Sam Barrett of Maidenhead is the guy top of the charts of that at the moment with 9 goals for the club already so far. Michael Cheek in second on 8 and then 7 apiece for Tom Denton at Chesterfield and Danny Wright of Torquay, who got his first goal in 6 on Tuesday evening. Top of the form guide at the moment in the National League, based on the last 5 games, is Torquay United with a staggering 13 points out of the last 15 available. Altrincham in second at the moment on the form guide with 12 points, and Notts County and Stockport have picked up an impressive 10 points as well. That form guide has really pushed a few teams up the division. As we look at the bottom part of the division, it's Dover, Weymouth and Yeovil struggling at the moment in the bottom 3. Yeovil picked up their first win in midweek and Barnet will be worryingly looking over their shoulders of the relegation zone. Dagenham and Redbridge, a slow start from them. Chesterfield have found a little bit of form of late, and Kings Lynn have had an up and down start to the season. But it's Dover who are just on 6 points at the moment with just 6 goals. And looking worrying at the moment in the early stages. You've got to say, going into the top part of the table, Wealdstone and Altrincham have been fantastic in their journey so far in the National League and have settled really, really well. Hartlepool have now moved into the playoff places and they are joined there with Bromley, Stockport, Maidenhead, who have done fantastic, Notts County and second place Sutton. But the team top of the table are Torquay United. Torquay United sit there 5 points clear at the top of the table. Out of the 12 league games, only not won twice out of those. Eastleigh and Boreham Wood, only the two sides that have taken points off Torquay this season. It's a real shame that the fans have not had much chance to see some great football at Playmore this season. And Gary Johnson has created such a great dressing room. The midfield of Aaron Nemane and ex-Man City and Rangers holding a key role alongside the experience of Asa Hall and youngster Adam Randall. Ben Whitfield has jumped in and it's a little barren of run of goals at the moment. For Danny Wright up front, and Whitfield's jumped in with a few of those goals with 4 in his last 7 league games. And you can't talk about Torquay without the hot form at the moment of Connor Lemon-High Evans. The former Bristol City youngster is revelling in the side at the moment, and Torquay are a very good bet on at least a playoff place, if not a return to the Football League. Centre-half pairings of Kyle Cameron and youngster Sam Sheeran have kept things ticking over at the back, and between them have not missed a minute of action this season, which is really, such a positive thing for Gary Johnson, and hopefully those two can continue their long striking partnership with the weeks to come. Behind Torquay United then is another stunning start to the season, and we talk about Sutton United. What a season they are having. A shock defeat against Chesterfield confirms nothing is plain sailing in this division, and take away the 4-0 hammering they suffered at the hands of Wrexham, you've got some excellent performances and results from Matt Gray's side. Among the goals again is obviously Harry Beautyman, and sure, once Omar Bugle returns from his suspension, they'll be better off in the attacking sense at the moment. Notts County and Stockport are among the favourites this season, and Notts County are floating dangerously behind the top 2. Stockport in 5th are in great shape as well. Only played 9 games, 4 fewer than second place Sutton. But will these games get too much for these players eventually? You don't know, especially with the leagues up and down the country. But going great so far, both of these, and in dangerous positions. One of the stories so far got to be Maidenhead, hasn't it? Currently sitting in 4th and got to be one of the shocks so far. Most people's favourites for the drop this season. Alan Devonshire has them punching with the big boys following last season's 21st place finish. They have the league's top scorer in Sam Barrett and have already beaten the likes of Eastleigh, Solihull and Notts County this season. Won more away than at home, so they need a good solid home form to stay up there, that's for sure. But Maidenhead United have definitely started amazingly. What about the new boys in the National League? Altrincham currently occupy 8th and were my prediction for the highest placed side out of the 4 that went up. You worried how long it would take to start, for their form to take off. Losing top marksman Jordan Hume to file and only winning 1 of their first 8 games. But remarkably, 4 wins in the last 5 has propelled them up the league, adding quality of the players like Ryan Colclough will only help the squad stay up this season. Being up and down has been what it's like for the majority of these promoted sides, and I'm pretty sure Altrincham will have that kind of season. But sitting 1 place lower in 9th is Wealdstone. 5 wins in a row took them close to the summit, but that has been followed with no wins in their last 5. A very entertaining side to watch, and certainly a place I'd like to go and watch football when neutrals can return. 8 of the 13 matches have had over 3 goals in it, with 5 games of those with 5+. Danny Parish has certainly settled well from his move from Malden and Tiptree. Kings Lynn in 18th. Things were taking a turn for the better. Defensively, they leaked so many goals this season. 2 clean sheets in a row looked to have steadied the ship a little, but when a 6-1 stuffing in the FA Cup at the hands of Portsmouth down at Fratton Park coincided with 2 league defeats, meaning the movement in the table is south rather than north. 2 home games follow in the league against Torquay and Notts County, and they'll be hoping to take some much confident boosting points out of those 2 sides near the top. And that's exactly what Weymouth need too. Certainly not the promotion they have enjoyed since. Mark Mosley left for Southend United in League 2. They lost the promotional guidance from the dressing room. Brian Stock's come in and certainly been challenging, hasn't it? 4 games in, and they hadn't found the net when they first started in the National League before getting that much needed victory against Kings Lynn. Then on Halloween, a huge 2-1 win away at the champions hopeful Stockport County. A near month has now passed before they kicked the ball again, squashing the drive they would have got from that result at Stockport. And COVID stopped that flow, and it has not been great since coming back to competitive action. Lost 3 in a row, conceded 8 in the last 2, and more worryingly for the Terrors, all 3 of those games they have lost have all come at home. In the bottom 3 with Weymouth are Dover and Yeovil. Didn't really fancy Yeovil this season, but did not expect them to be waiting till game 11 for the first win. That came Tuesday night at Bromley. Reece Murphy, the usual Glover's talisman, and Joe Quigley with the goals to fire them off the bottom of the table. Can they continue this winning form? Well, Notts County and Torquay are next up in the league, so they'll do well to continue that winning form. Team worth noting, who are on great form at the moment, is Halifax. 3 wins in a row and 13 goals in the process of these results as well. One of my playoffs tips starting to gather some much needed momentum after no win since the opening day against Dagenham and Redbridge. Another side not doing as well as expected. We've got to mention while we're in the National League, Chesterfield as well. James Rowe has come in. He guided Gloucester City to the summit in the National North with 7 wins in their opening 9 games. Then rocks up at Chesterfield, wins 2 of his first 3 unbeaten games, including a 1-0 win at High Flying Sutton. Brings along one of his trusted strikers from Gloucester, Akwasi Asante. He scores in his debut. James Rowe is kicking it in the 2020-21 season. Absolutely great start from him, and taking over at Chesterfield's a big step up for him as well. They haven't struggled scoring goals this season, Chesterfield, and the Sparrites it's conceding the goals. Only 6 teams have scored more than Chesterfield. They sit in 17th place, but only 4 have conceded more. Something Rowe has taken on, and 2 clean sheets and the arrival of defender Joel Taylor from Chester this week means that fans of the club can they start getting excited? Who knows? But Rowe has had a year at Gloucester to build his quality squad with a healthy budget, it must be said. But can Chesterfield afford him such time? We will see. But one thing's for sure, the National League is certainly taking shape, and when you look and see 3 points separate 3rd place Notts County and 12th place Wrexham, it promises to be an exciting season. Some fans are filtering back through the turnstiles, those tier 2 or lower from government rulings. Let's hope that very soon and not too far away we can all witness football up and down the country again. That's my roundup this week of the National League so far. If you want to see who we predicted for the promotion and relegation this season, the link in the description is down below from what we did at the start of the season. Also brand new to this channel and moving on to other areas and platforms, we're also taking on a new podcast. A left back in the changing room unveiled this week, and this week's focus is on St Albans' great start to the National League South, an update on the Northern and Southern leagues around the country stance below National League level, and the reaction to the FA Trophy draw and predictions for this week. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to hear and follow football videos coming soon to this channel, and support our podcast on Spotify and iTunes, among other platforms. Up the footy.